Holy smoke, is this ain't no joke, because I was literally about to go to bed.
Oh my word, look at that.
Wow, do we have a lot to get into here today.
Woo, 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 woo. Man, oh man, I love it. I love it right now.
That intro makes me laugh every time I see it, dude. It without exception.
That has nothing to do with Chris Sain, but I still like to play because it's entertaining. Anyway, Jay, welcome. So I heard you had an interesting phone call with a famous YouTuber. Let's talk about that.
Yes, I did. I did the infamous Chris Sain $125 stock market course or phone call. Because everybody
was it for 30 minutes?
It was probably about 45 minutes.
So he's charging like basically $200 an hour, something like that.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll be fair to Chris Sain when I say this. It doesn't matter who's doing it. If you're charging $125 for 40 minutes of investing advice, I think you're grifting. Doesn't matter. Like if Chris Sain, if he had made that phone call and he was the most knowledgeable human being that I've ever come across on the stock market, I would still tell you it's a ripoff and a grift. And, you know, it's the same problem I had with Mo. Mo charging $750 for a phone call. What are you going to teach somebody in 40 minutes? You can't teach day trading in 40 minutes. You can't.
Sorry,
No. The only thing that you could do in like 40 minutes for somebody is go, hey man, just put your money in index funds. Because something that Chris Sain was trying to do was he goes, Jay, you gotta look at the financial statements, the balance sheets, the cash flows, you know, the income statements. And I'm sitting there going, okay, well, I already know how to do all that. I didn't say that, but I was like, I already know how to do all that. But what are you really teaching somebody that doesn't know anything? You can't.
Was it his personal phone number or was it like his business phone?
It came as Chris Sain in my on my phone. I just used my normal phone. If he wants to put my number online, I don't know. Hopefully somebody sells me into sexual slavery. I don't know.
So it was this one, right? One and done, 30 to 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what he did. I wonder if he has a Skype option. Like, is it only over the phone?
That's what I don't know. That's what I went with. I didn't really look further than that. I was like, oh, I'll do a phone call. And of course, I was dumb and I didn't practice the phone call to make sure that the recorder on my phone would work. And I didn't, do a test run, which is on me, man. I really have no excuse for that. But so the phone call starts off. Chris is nice. He's professional. Obviously, he's selling something. And I will say this, and I want to give him his due on saying this. He told me on the phone that for beginners, the best thing that you can do is just invest in index funds. But again, I go back to, why do you think somebody should pay you $125 for that phone call? I have disposable income. I'm a single dude and I'm doing pretty well for myself. So I have $125 just to see what you're selling. For me, it's gambling or fun money, whatever it is. But, I just go, so somebody that's a fan of yours, they see you on YouTube and they assume that you know what you're talking about. They pay you $125. And the gist of your phone call is, if you're new to investing, you should invest in index funds. It's like, bro, that advice is everywhere. I don't get how people can justify this to themselves. because all they're doing is stealing from their fan base.
Did he like, so before you even did the phone call, did he ask you like specifically what you wanted to talk about? Or was it literally you just called him and then you explained what you wanted at that point?
He called me at exactly 1:05, which was when he was supposed to call me. And then we talked for a little bit. We exchanged pleasantries, and then we got into it. And like I said before, I mean, his advice that he was telling me isn't the worst thing that I've heard on YouTube, to be honest with you. He wasn't sitting there telling me to buy Tattooed Chef. He was saying stupid things like invest in what you love. And I go, okay, but just because you love a product doesn't mean the company is something that you should add to your portfolio.
So it's like, what were the main specific things you talked about? So he mentioned index funds if you're a beginner. And then where did you go after you talked about that? Okay,
so we went, like after we talked about index funds, we went into individual stocks. And that's when he said on the phone, he goes, you gotta pay attention to the financial statements. Okay, that's actually good advice. Again, I don't know why somebody should pay you $125 for it, and then we just kind of talked, and I would ask him questions. And so here's the thing. It didn't really get bizarre until he started trying to explain to me what a price to earnings ratio is. And that's when the thing went off the rails, where I was just going, what is this guy talking about? When he started telling me that Wall Street assigns a multiple to earnings per share. And I'm just sitting there on the phone. Bro, you don't have any idea how hard it was not to just burst out laughing when he told me that. That's actually a part you can hear in my phone call if you think I'm lying about this, because I repeat back to him what he's saying, and he goes, absolutely. He was sitting there going, just saying the weirdest stuff at the end of the phone call. So what's going to happen with a company like Microsoft is we're going into inflation and probably a recession. So what Wall Street is going to do is they're going to go in there and they're going to project Microsoft's growth and assign it a price to earnings ratio. And I'm sitting there going, bro, all the PE ratio is a multiple of what you're paying for your earnings per share. That's it.
Well, I mean, technically, it's the market is in a way assigning a price ratio, but it's not Wall Street. It's the market. The market is composed of many different actors and entities.
Yeah, no,
so I guess he sits there and thinks like there's like this cabal of Wall Street people. Like, oh, what PE are we going to sign to Microsoft today?
Yeah, and like I said, man, I mean, it's not like in that phone call, because I'll crap on people where people need to be crapped on, but I'm not just going to tear somebody down. Like I said, and I want to make this clear, it was not the worst advice I've seen doled out on YouTube. It's just that it got bizarre at the end. I understand where you're coming from too. Like, yeah, you're right. The market is assigning the multiple because the market is just made up of people who want to buy that stock. Yeah. But I mean, and at the end, when I asked him, I go, well, so there must be a way to figure out what a stock is worth without, like I told him, I go, say the stock's selling for $100 or something, like some analogy like this. I said, there's got to be some way to figure out a price I should pay for it. And I started asking him about calculating intrinsic value. And he just goes, bro, you're getting into like analyst territory. That's way too complicated for you. And I'm sitting there going, it's not. It's a simple mathematical formula. And the only thing that the price you're going to get is directly proportional to the growth rate you're assigning in the formula. It's not hard at all, dude.
Do you think you scared him by starting to get into the weeds of how to actually value a stock?
I think if the phone call went on for another half hour, I would have ended up burying him.
So, like, towards the end of the phone call, did you kind of like get more aggressive and try to like test his knowledge more?
No, dude, my strategy was, because he can hang up on me at any time. So if I really started going hard on him, he's going to figure out that I'm not a novice. I mean, I'm not Warren Buffett or anybody like that, but I'm definitely not a novice either. So, it is what it is. It was advertised as like a 35 to 45 minute phone call or something like that. And he gave me the full time. It was at the end that I was asking about intrinsic value. That might have sped him off the phone call a little bit.
Did you guys talk about like where he thinks the market's going to go? Did he give you any kind of prediction of like where the market's going to bottom or something like that?
No, and I'm glad look, again, I go back to this. I'm not going to sign off on anybody charging anybody $125 for their investment advice, because here's also the territory that Chris Sain is getting into. I don't know if it's illegal, but I don't think that you're supposed to be charging for investment advice when you basically, I mean, some of the suspicion I have too is that a lot of the stocks that he pumps, he just does it for the views. I also think that too. Because, when he's sitting there telling me, well, you got to go through the financial statements. Okay, you don't really know what a price to earnings ratio is, and you don't know how to calculate intrinsic value. But if you know that, why are you recommending some of the stocks that you recommend, like FedEx? So, I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, he's preying on his fan base, but like if I had to honestly say, I've heard way dumber stuff out of Jeremy's mouth, to be honest with you.
You think Jeremy is dumber than Chris Sain?
No, I don't know between the two of those. I've just heard way dumber things out of Jeremy's mouth because I don't pay attention to Chris as much. And again, I'll go back to the phone call's not worth it. It's really not, because even if Chris Sain, if I got on the phone call and he goes, oh, well, you calculate intrinsic value this way, that still doesn't mean somebody that's a novice to the market is going to understand the nuances of it, where it's like they're not going to understand garbage in, garbage out. Oh, I'm projecting NVIDIA and I'm going to assign it a 40% growth rate for the next 10 years. Oh, looks undervalued. Let's buy it now.
Did you guys talk about stock options at all, or was it simply like index funds? And
no, I tried to keep him. He mentioned options, but that's not my thing. I don't really know that much about options. I don't do it because I consider it gambling, anyways. To me, it's like day trading. If you're interested in it at home, go for it. It's not something that interests me. I have to go to work. I'm not going to get up at 7 a.m. to day trade, especially when at the end of the day, I consider it gambling anyway.
Yay, the market's not open at 7. Well, I guess it depends where you live.
Yeah. I just threw out, but like I said, ultimately, there's nothing you're going to be able to communicate to somebody on buying stocks for your portfolio in 45 minutes that is going to make it worth the phone call.
You know what's weird? I'm looking at his coaching options. I'll pull it up real quick.
Pull it up.
So, okay, obviously you did this. You paid $125, and then I guess you get a slightly better deal, because you get 3 sessions for $325, so that's like $50 off total. And then you go down here, email coaching
Yeah.
245. That is very odd.
Dude,
Like, why would you charge more for
I saw that too. I was like, okay, what are you going to send them though that's going to teach them anything in the email?
Look at this.
I mean,
options coaching for beginners.
Because Chris, look at it like this, man. What is Chris Sain going to teach you that, say, the intelligent investor isn't going to teach you? You can buy that used on Amazon for $10, or the little book that beats the market, or Howard Marks, who's got like a 22 or 23% compounded annual return. What is Chris going to teach you in this phone call? Nothing.
Yeah, and you see right here, this is where he really gets into financial advice. The other stuff, it's like, okay, if you're just talking about like general stuff, okay, maybe not financial advice. But he goes and he has this options plays thing right here. That is where he's really crossing the line. He will receive up to 2 options plays for 1 week. So he's basically telling you what to buy.
Yeah, but I mean, wouldn't you be in a little bit? You might know this more than I do, but wouldn't you be, because you did the financial advisor thing? Is he allowed to charge for that?
Especially, so, I mean, I'm not an expert on the law, but I mean, generally, if you're getting into the territory where you're charging for like financial advice, which what I consider financial advice is looking into the future, stuff like predicting stuff into the future, telling somebody to buy something.
Yeah.
That is where it gets kind of sketchy. I mean, as a financial advisor, the only training I got, I got a brief introduction to the law, but it was kind of like a check the box thing. So you could, get your license and go ahead and sell crap. I mean, he's not issuing securities.
Yeah.
But he's making recommendations, it looks like right here, to buy certain securities, certain derivatives or whatever. That could be a problem.
Bro, this dude is booked up on phone calls. When you look at it, he's got to be making a grip during the day.
Oh, he's making a fortune, dude. $125 for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like he has maybe only 3 phone calls a day.
All right. Maybe he's not making
that. Yeah, see, it seems like every single week there's only 3 phone calls. So it actually looks like there's a lot of openings. So it looks like he doesn't do it Sunday, Monday, Friday, and Saturday. And there's literally no bookings. So his business might not be doing as well as you might think.
Well, that was predictable. I mean, I said this. We talked about this. You said this too. About the time we enter into a bear market, nobody's going to be watching stock videos except the people that are into stock videos. Like, I'll be watching videos that other people put out if we do get into a bear market. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but this like 2020 and 2021, he was probably getting a lot of phone calls, but as the market runs into trouble, the fair weather investors, they flee. So
yeah, it looks like the only booking he has is the last time slot on a Tuesday.
Yeah. But, like I said, I mean, it is what it is, dude. You could just look at it and tell that it's a grift. I mean, I don't know what more to say about it. I wish the phone call had been recorded better so you could hear the whole thing. I'm just trying to stay fair to him, and make it about what he was actually peddling on the phone. I don't think it was anywhere remotely near worth it. And like I said, I come back to it's a grift, just like Mo from Everything Money's phone call. And that's probably a worse grift, to be honest with you, than what Chris Sain is doing. Like, what is Mo going to teach you in an hour about whatever his stupid little day trading thing is that he doesn't make money on?
Well, he day trades live, Jay. What are you talking about?
He day trades live after he's already done the trade. Live.
I swear, you see this resistance level in the stochastic? I would have bought exactly at the bottom right here. Then I would have sold exactly at the top.
Well, but I mean, the reason I would have done it is because I'm smarter than you. Like, no, you're not.
Oh, so real quick before we get into everything money or whatever. So the phone call recording is on your page, on your YouTube channel, Jay Nagy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually a space. It's J space Nagy. So if you want to go listen to the phone call, like you said, the audio is kind of bad, but
Audio's terrible. I apologize, guys. I actually put it up just so there was proof that I did the phone call because I didn't want him coming back going, hey, you made this all up. Like, no, I got you in the beginning.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad you did it. And, you know, we have that for record forever into the future unless our channels get deleted.
Oh, dude, there's a certain evil dog food salesman that I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to get our channels deleted.
Jay, former dog food salesman.
He left on my page. He goes, "Don't be jealous of me." I'm like, I own my own home. I can actually write stand-up comedy jokes. And I know what I'm talking about in the stock market. So, like, you're not into anything that I would be jealous of you.
So, Mr. Schaefer, I just want to remind you that I currently have, let me make sure there's no revealing information on here. I currently have my profit and loss on my 2021 Schedule C. You see that bottom number right there? That's my profit from my real business. So if you ever decide, Mr. Snot, to show your Schedule C, please send it to me because I would love to verify that you actually have a doggy business.
Whatever. I'm not making any more videos about that, dude. I don't care. I don't want to even acknowledge he exists because it's like he said in his video, he said, yeah, Tom Nash was pumping Palantir, and Palantir is a bad investment. And I wanted to just go, how do you know, though? You don't know any.
Most people, they can't read financial statements. And I mean, it's not hard. It's really not.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I would miss and you would catch because you're way better at it than I am. But I'm functional in it. And, you know, that's the thing is like, it is what it is, man. I'm not going to talk about that dude anymore. He's evil, living in his mom's basement.
Oh no, he lives with his mom. I basically confirmed it. He lives with his mom.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, like I have my own home. I wish my mommy would move in. So there.
Well, I guess if you split the rent, I mean, crap, man. I could live in my parents' basement. My parents have a huge house up in Northern Virginia. I could live in the basement. I could get like a door installed for privacy.
Oh,
and
dude,
I could make a fortune.
You and your wife living there for a few years, man. The destruction you could wreak on your investments, just piling that cash in.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like I rent out this house, right? So, I mean, I know rents have gone out of control, so I could probably make some good money renting this baby out. And then on top of that, hopefully I wouldn't be charged rent at my parents. I could just live the high life.
Bro, I was talking to some people in the gym. They were talking about how they're paying $2,000 a month down here for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment.
Jesus Christ.
That's almost twice my mortgage.
Yeah, because I bought in right when the recession started, not the recession, but when the pandemic started. And I got in before housing prices went up, but after interest rates went down significantly. So I got a super low rate, 2.89. Mm-hmm. And I paid the normal asking price for the house. And since I bought it, it's appreciated in, value, fake value by like 50 grand.
Well, my realtor, she keeps sending me the stuff going, oh, this is how much your house has appreciated and your net worth has gone up. And I'm just going, you guys don't have to send me any of this because I don't think about stuff in the short term anyways. So, I mean, if I was going to sell this house, it would be 5 years from now. But I was like, I haven't actually appreciated it at all until I sell the house. It's what I want to send her an email back and go, these are called unrealized gains. Stop sending me this.
Well, they also do that because they want you to take out home equity loans.
Oh, dude, I've been getting so many of that. I just burn them. I just throw it in my burn pit and burn it out back. I'm like, why do you want me to take out a loan? What am I going to buy with it? I don't
build another room or something.
No, I mean, I build another room if, that YouTube grift money came in. Start selling phone calls for $125.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody's revenue is going down significantly. I mean, like the recession, they're cutting ad rates. Unless your channel is like exploding, of course, you're probably getting more revenue. But back like a couple months ago, I was making way more money, and now it's like massively declined. So,
yeah, dude,
I'm good out there to be a grifter.
Well, okay, so if we go back in time to 2020 when you and I started, right? What was going on with the market? You couldn't lose. I mean, you just let me buy Peloton here. That goes up, even though we're telling you it's a fundamentally worthless stock. So the people that were coming in watching those videos are people that don't know what they're doing at all. They have no process. They just started that year. And so they watch Meet Kevin and they go, oh, this guy really knows. Oh, the stock market. I'm getting rich. But it's like at work in 2020 and 2021, I was getting stock tips at least once a week from people. Nobody talks to me about stocks anymore.
Oh, I wonder why. Because they probably lost. They probably have like negative 80% losses in all their investments.
Well, I was telling them at the time, I go, dude, you have your 401k. Did you match it? Or did you max it? And they're like, what do you mean? I go, put your money in the tax advantaged account, dude. What are you doing? And they would look at me in this bizarre way, like, dude, I bought Tesla.
Well, that's the one stock that all the clowns bought, and it just kept going up. That's why I hate it, because like every time they're like, "Oh, it's going to go up," and then it did, and they got rewarded for being clowns, speculative.
Well, bro, you and I both said this would happen, and it's happening. Like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. Market caps can go wherever, but Tesla's pretty much frozen now. It hasn't gone up really in a year, or at least I haven't been paying attention to it. And that's going to be the cycle. And that's what happens. You can go back and look at the 2000 tech boom crash. They didn't just drop overnight. The air went out of that market over a long period of time.
Yeah, and honestly, like I've stopped looking at the stock market. I mean, I'll still check it every once in a while. Like I'll check VT and be like, "Oh, how much did VT go up today?" It's like a joke, but I sold the vast majority of my individual stocks. I had a bunch of stocks, like some had small gains, some had like decent gains. It wasn't a lot of money. Like I sold out of those, and I'm still only holding like Baba and like Baidu, basically. And once those, get some kind of capital appreciation, eventually I'm going to cash out of those as well. And I'm just going to go 100% index funds like a true boglehead.
Dude, I'm going to still buy stocks. I'm still going to do the 5% allocation, but I'm not going above that.
I mean, if I see a massive opportunity in the future, okay, maybe I'll throw in $1,000 for fun. But I'm just done. I'd rather just, because I've been piling into my Vanguard. I don't have a 401k, sadly. So I've just been piling as much as I can into Vanguard. And that's it's pretty satisfying because I can see, even though the market's down, my account balance just goes up and up and up and up and up. So I'm still building wealth and getting richer, even though the stock market's down. That's the power of dollar cost averaging and trying to max your accounts.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we've talked about this ad nauseum. You and I are both baffled by everybody's obsession with buying individual stocks, and they think they're going to outperform the market. And I'm just here to tell you, I don't think very many people are going to outperform the market.
It's the excitement, Jay. Like why buy an index fund when you can 10x?
Yeah, well, dude, I mean, think about it like this. If you don't think that you can get wealthy relatively quick, you know, doing the 90 to 95% in 90 to 95% in index funds, 5 to 10 in individual stocks. If you go back and you look at Warren Buffett's purchase, I mean, even if you have Coca-Cola in 1987, even if you had just said, you know what, gambling money. If Uncle Warren likes this stock, I'm going to throw $1,000 in there, and you left that in your portfolio, it would have, your portfolio return would be ridiculously higher than not buying that Coca-Cola. It's the problem of identifying that undervalued stock.
Yeah, I just hope the market, you know, continues to grow like it did in the past. But, you know, sometimes I wonder, I mean, were those gains that we had in the last decade or two, are those going to continue, or are we just going to either be stagnant or have slow growth? And I'm leaning towards the second one.
Bro, this is the complicated thing, man. We don't know what the Fed's going to start doing. Because if the Fed starts quantitative easing again, all bets are off. Then you're going to have Lefebvre going, risk on market again. Why won't
Speaking of Jeremy, I think it's time for a Jeremy intro. I need to do a new contest to freaking whatchamacallit, to get more material.
Those intros are so good, dude. I'm so jealous of the first one, though. Like, every time you play it, I just start cracking up, dude. Every time it gets me every single time. That and the one
that guy didn't even sign up for the contest. He just sent it to me.
There's so many great. I can only imagine Jeremy sitting there going, these mother effers, just shaking his head at this, because you know he watches those and stews over them.
Dude, I would freaking love if somebody made stuff like that about me. I mean, even though it'd be making fun of me, it's still freaking hilarious, you know?
If you can make one that funny about me, I might even use it as an intro, to be honest with you. Even if it was just mocking the crap out of me, I might just be like, nah, this is too good.
Well, if somebody wants to send me a Jay Nagy intro.
Dude, I'll laugh, dude. But we have to get into it, man.
We have to get into it. About what?
Everything money, firing Seth.
What are your suspicions?
It's your fault.
Do you think I actually had something to do with it?
I honestly think the catalyst was him coming on your channel and then Fabio's. Because think about it. He vanished for like right after he went on Fabio's.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely was. He probably was. He was probably acting outside his bounds. Or
Cole's fault. That's who we'll blame. Let's blame Cole for this whole thing.
Cole, my butthole.
I might
like Seth came on, right? And then he was like, "Yeah, let's schedule another one." And then he was actively trying to schedule another, interview with me. Like, he reached out to me, and then out of nowhere, it's like, "Oh wait, no, I can't." Like, he sent me another message. He's like, "Oh, I can't do that now. I have to clear this with my team." So he definitely got in some kind of hot water with coming on the channel.
Well, here's the thing, man. If Paul really wanted it to be that way, where you didn't go on other YouTube channels, he should have said that from the beginning.
Well, Paul's got a brand. He's got a reputation to uphold, Jay. He cannot be associated with scum like us.
Well, I've got questions on how a phone call with Jeremy, he kind of turned around, because I was wondering, okay, what does Jeremy have on this dude?
Yeah, that was a little unusual. I mean, like, I get it. You meet somebody face to face, it's a little harder to talk trash about them. But, like, he went like a total 180. Like, oh, Jeremy's actually a value investor. It's like, no, he's not.
He's a degenerate gambler on YouTube. And a lot of times I vacillate between he's not even buying these stocks.
Jeremy?
Sometimes, man, I get suspicious that he might be a closeted index fund investor who pushes crap stocks to make money on YouTube. And then other times I vacillate back towards, no, he's that dumb.
Well, I think he's realized his mistake. He made a massive error investing into Tattooed Chef and like all the other crap stocks, Corsair, blah, 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 blah. Because he's down massively on all of those. But what he's doing now is he's changing his grift. He's buying small positions in stocks, which appear to be large to the average Joe. Like I think he has like, what, 10K in Palantir? I mean, to him, that's insignificant. Yeah. But he can make hundreds of thousands of dollars in ad revenue and sponsorships by talking about Palantir. And even if Palantir goes to zero, that's a net profit right there.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, dude. I don't, this is why I stopped doing grifter videos, because I honestly, I don't understand. I really don't. I don't understand how everybody gets stocks wrong. It's going to happen, man. You can do everything right at everything. And then something happens out of left field. Like, I'll give you an example. I don't know what it's going to do, but the 3M earplug lawsuit. You might not have saw that coming.
What? Get it? No.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
I can't hear.
No, I'm just saying, like, everybody gets stocks wrong, but it's just like his stocks are so egregiously bad, and so is Meet Kevin, and all these people were defending him. And we started doing the grifter videos, and they didn't stop listening to him. I was like, dude, you don't have to listen to me. Listen to somebody who knows what they're talking about. Put your money in index funds. You're going to lose it. You don't have time, if you work a normal job, to sit around figuring out where to put your stock, where to put your money into what stocks. If you're working 40 hours a week and you have kids.
A year and a half ago, my heart really was in it. Like, because I had just started on YouTube and I was like, oh my God, these people are freaking scum. And I was really motivated to, talk about them and, paint them as fools. And now a year and a half later, it's like, what has changed? Nothing. The clowns are still clowns. They're still getting more subs and more views. Screw it. I'm just going to talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's why I always did rants on the side, just because I spend a lot of the day, even at work, like looking up stuff on the internet about stocks. Like if I'm on break or something, I'll be on my phone or wherever looking something up. The rants I started doing, because it's just a good break for me mentally. To just start talking.
It hurts views, obviously, but at this point, I just don't care anymore. It's like, okay, this isn't my full-time job. Yeah, if I don't talk about Meet Kevin every 5 seconds, I'm not going to make as much money. But I'm actually enjoying myself more because I don't want to be in a position where, Meet Kevin video 10,506. Oh, Meet Kevin, didn't wash his hands after he took a dump. Oh, my God, really?
Yeah, you want to look at him and go, yeah, well, how do you know he didn't wash his hands? Well, I shrunk myself down like Ant-Man and went through his small intestine. Okay, Scott. But yeah, dude, this is what there were some comments down in my comment section, and they were kind of mad at me, I think, when I said this. But I just said, listen, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to just do endless grifter videos because I got bored with it anyways. But a lot of people are just going to have to lose money before they learn. Like, oh, okay, there's an actual system in place if you want to buy an individual stock picker. But, they're just going to have to learn that if you don't have a method to figure out what you want to pay for a stock, be it using qualitative analysis with some fundamental analysis, if you don't have a method, you're going to probably lose a lot of money. And they don't want to listen. They keep, you're just mad at Chris Sain because of his success. It's like, no, I don't like the guy because he gives bad advice. That's why. I don't.
Well, you got to think like you always have to think long term. You know, if you were popular in if you got really big in 2020 because of the stock market, 10 years from now, you're probably not going to be around, or you're going to be doing something entirely different because you got popular on a bubble, a trend, and that's not sustainable. But if you stay consistent, you have a consistent message, and you know you diversify your content, you can always be relevant on YouTube.
Yeah, man. And I mean, like last night, I talked about in one of my videos about the California having trouble with their grid, and Gavin Newsom asking people to not charge them. And I'm going, all right, this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun to just talk about this and how utterly stupid it is that you can't support the grid because you're a moron and you shut down all your nuclear facilities in California. You know, it is, EVs are the future, unless we switch to renewables, in which case we'll just crash the grid all the time.
That's why I don't live in California. Plus the taxes.
Great.
Tad Buddha Bowl flavored.
Jeremy's jock strap from 2008.
Well, he used to be a star athlete, man.
I know. That's why what I did is I harnessed his sweat, his gooch sweat, and then I turned that into my vape.
I'm sure that's a very pleasant experience. You should patent that.
Jeremy's gooch sweat vape.
We could make a meme about that somehow. There's got to be a way we could turn that into a joke.
Bro, I've got something that's hilarious, and I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell you offline what I'm trying to do, and I'll send you to the video that I'm trying to do it with. But I don't want to reveal it here because I don't know if it's going to work.
Is it something hidden in the video?
No, but just so your audience knows, I've been photoshopping or using PowerPoint to Photoshop these improved thumbnails that I've been creating. Well, I've been putting dildos in all of them as a fun experiment for you to try and find them. If you can find the 3 dildos actually in my California video that I put back up, I'll be impressed.
Could you imagine Jay Nagy like hunched over his laptop, like shrinking a dildo and then like trying to position it perfectly so somebody has a hard time finding it?
Bro, bring it up on screen. Bring it up on screen. I'll show you something.
Oh, yeah. Let's find the dildo. Hold on. Let me go on your channel. The California one?
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck. I don't know if I can zoom in. Okay. This might be hard to see.
Okay. Do you see the screaming liberal up in the car? Okay. Pay real close attention to the left side of Gavin Newsom's hair.
Actually, I can download the thumbnail. Hold on a second. I gotta play the video. Thumbnail grabber. There we go.
Okay, now pay real close attention to Elon Musk's thumbs up.
Dude, that's pretty that's pretty well hidden, man. I didn't even see that. Could you imagine somebody has no idea and they're just looking at it and they're like, what the hell is that? Oh my god.
No, I've been cracking myself up putting dildos in all these all the time.
Dude, this is a pretty good thumbnail, by the way. I like this.
watch Schaefer report me to YouTube and I get deleted. All that hard work, finally actually putting some production value into my channel, gets deleted for dildos.
Gee, Nagy, you know what he did?
He's been photoshopping dildos and everything.
Is it inappropriate?
All right, we got to get to the crux of this because I really wanted to talk to you about this. You think EM is done now? Because I'm not really. I thought Paul said some funny stuff on there, and I pointed this out, like his joke about sticking your head in a car and ramming it with the door. I thought that was hilarious, but I actually was a way bigger fan of Seth than anybody on that channel.
I don't think they're done. I think they're at the point where they're large enough where they'll continue to grow no matter what. I mean, once you get to that point, you just grow, even if you're a clown.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I don't know what went on behind the scenes there, but I really do think that the catalyst for that was him going on yours and Fabio's channels. And this is what I'm
guilty because, like, I after Seth came on, I reached out to Paul on Instagram and he ignored me. And then I reached out to Mo and I was like, "Hey, you want to come on?" Because people are mad about your day trading crap. He's like, "Oh, no, thanks." And then that was it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what their deal is, dude. But I'll probably continue to use their software, but I really haven't been watching their videos.
I mean, dude, let's be real. You can make you know enough. You can make their software in Excel in like 20 or 30 minutes. I mean, I literally had it replicated down to a T, down with the 3 different, categories. I had that a while ago. I stopped using that. But you can 100% make that in 20
Yeah, and I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know what I'm going to do, dude, but I use that stock analyzer that you told me about.
Stockanalysis.com.
Yeah, I use that. Well, I already have a discounted cash flow Excel sheet that I made myself. I also put in there the Ben Graham intrinsic value calculator now. I've also put in my sheet the Peter Lynch fair value. And it's basically just an inversion of the PEG ratio. But it doesn't tell you. It tells you based on growth, whether it's undervalued or overvalued, but it doesn't give you an actual number. Basically, you could just use the PEG ratio if you didn't want to use that.
Well, I mean, a huge problem with the software that Everything Money has is you can't really change your inputs because they use the trailing 12-month revenue and for the projections going forward. I mean, we've talked about this. If you put in a 5% growth rate, it's going to use that latest revenue and go from there. Whereas if you wanted to specifically say, okay, I think revenue is going to grow at this rate for this many years and this rate for this many years, you can't specifically do that with their software. You can't adjust anything. It's all based on what's already in the software. So there's really not a lot of flexibility.
Well, that's why also, like on my Excel sheet, something I do is, I don't know, say EPS 1 year, say you have an EPS of 8 and then you have an EPS of 16. Well, I think it's better to just use the 5-year average. So a lot of times I just go through and I average out those earnings per share, and I'll do 5 or 10 years to make that adjustment. Because like you said, that's a huge liability, actually. If a company has an outsized year and you're using that to calculate your intrinsic value, you're going to get a number that's too high.
Well, that's what happened in 2020, 2021. A lot of companies benefited massively and they had insane revenue growth. And if you start plotting from there going forward, you're going to be wildly overshooting what their future revenue is going to be.
Oh, your boy's down here in the chat.
If I show you my Schedule C, then would you stop talking about you? Scott, you want me to talk about you. SNOT, excuse me. I want my free strongman marketing. Send me the Schedule C. By the way, Scott, I don't know if you've seen this. Okay. See that? This is my Schedule C. I want to see a profit on line 21, Scott. Show me the Schedule C.
And he's probably too busy murdering small animals in the forest.
Oh, my God. I bet you Scott already found all the dildos on your thumbnails.
Probably. It's probably got like a 6th sense for that kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
But
And
yeah,
here's the thing, like people can manipulate Schedule C's. So what I want Scott to do is send me his entire tax return, because then I can check, because he doesn't know how to like how it all ties together and like self-employment tax and all that stuff. So if he sends me his entire tax return, I can say, okay, this is legit. But if he just sends me his Schedule C, he can just throw whatever he freaking wants in there. Oh, this is my tax return. No, Scott.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if that dude wasn't evil. 100%. Scott, let me tell you something. I went over this earlier. There's nothing about you that makes me jealous. You don't know anything about the stock market. You live with your mom and you can't write stand-up jokes. So what would I have to be jealous of? You're also didn't serve in the military. You're not really a man anyways. So what is it that you think is going on here other than I criticize you for being a giant turd that walks around and says a lot of dumb stuff?
Scott, we know you live with your mom. Okay, I was able to find it pretty easily. Just admit that you live with mommy and you split the bills with her, and that's how you're able to survive off your pissant income.
Well, whatever, man. I said this before on Echo's channel. I hope the guy does well. I don't care. I think he's evil, but
I hope he crashes and burns. We're digging into your past. We're gonna find every detail of your past, Scott. We're gonna expose you. He's been like privacy claiming all these people's videos.
I know he's lame. He'll talk about other people. He blocks everybody on his channel. Like, I don't care. I leave his comments up. I deleted one because I thought it was funny to delete it, but
so stupid, y'all. Scott, your biggest claim is that you made 150 grand off your business. If you send me your entire tax return and I verify, I will not show your tax return. I will not release it to anybody. Send me your tax return and I will verify it. And if I lie, you can go ahead and release a redacted version to make me look stupid. Send me your tax return, because if you lied about your business, you're just as bad as all these other grifters. And I don't think you made 150 grand, either in revenue or in bottom line profit.
he might have made that money off those bestiality videos that he makes.
Man, Jay Nagy's on fire. That's what happens when you're a stand-up comedian.
I'm an open micer, dude, and I'm not even good. Last night, I went to Dubai to watch some of the dudes around here, and I was like, Jesus Christ, Tampa has phenomenal comedians down here, even just at the open mics.
All right, let's do some comments.
Yeah.
Most of these comments are freaking stupid, but
Scott, is that all you could come up with in that? You're sitting there, and that comment was like 45 seconds ago, and it took you that long to come up with that?
what's up, white boy? I'm a dirty white boy. Would you ever take a look at a stock called IQST? It's a penny stock. No.
Yes.
But I think you like their technical info.
Yes. Here's what I'm doing, William. I'm going all in. $100.
Oh my God. This guy knows me, or knows of me, or knows somebody that knows me in real life. Chemical Rico. Who are you, William? Who are you? So there was this guy. Here's the backstory to this. So there was this guy in my old unit. He was I was in an infantry unit, and this guy was a chemical officer, and he was like really motivated. He wanted to go to this school called Chemical Recon, and I had never in the Army, chemical is like this kind of like, it's not a joke, but it's kind of like it's a dead branch because we don't do chemical warfare anymore. I mean, maybe we're building that up now. But chemical is kind of like the joke branch that isn't really relevant. But this guy was like gung-ho about chemical recon. Chemical recon! So every time we saw this guy, we were like, chemical recon!
Chemical recon!
You would get it if you were in the Army.
Yeah, no, I mean, most of our Army stuff was limited to looking at airmen and going, the instructions are Army proof, and yet you still screwed it up.
Scott barks like a dog to be let inside by his mom.
Oh,
Can
God.
you share how it was confirmed? I mean, you can find anybody's information online. I mean, you just literally Google their name, and you can find my address. You can find how much I paid for my house. You can find all my family's name. It's not hard. I can find anybody's freaking information. It's easy. You just have to do a little bit of digging. You know what I'm saying? If Scott ever made 150 can dog food profit, that means he had to spend 6 figures on cost of goods. He didn't make 150.
I made 150K and I spent 300K on cogs.
That's the thing. Like, people always talk about revenue my
I
evidence.
know.
Revenue my evidence. It's all about the profit. You want me to show you my schedule C again, Scott? You see that profit? What is my profit margin? Let me calculate my profit margin. Let me see. I got to make sure I don't show my social here because I know Scotty.
Strongly and social revealed.
88% profit. Beat that, Bussy. Tesla's outperforming the market.
Good. I'm glad you're doing well. I didn't buy it early enough.
I like how he has Warren Buffett on his profile.
Well, dude, you know, Warren Buffett's a well-known Tesla investor. Him and Howard Marks.
That's like a secret stock in his portfolio.
Yeah, I think in Berkshire Hathaway, isn't Tesla 95% of the holdings?
Something like that. I mean, that's why he's outperformed the market, man. He's Warren Buffett. He of course he's going to buy the best stock, Tesla. Scott's got the peanut butter ready. What do you use with that peanut butter, Scott? Get a little licky.
Is it chunky with peanuts in it?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Seth's appearance on Capital Mindset was the straw that broke the camel's back. No, it was me, Julius. I broke the camel's back.
Well, I said this about Fabio in my video about that. I go, if you're going to go on and argue with Fabio, all I'm going to say is good luck.
Nagi is projecting his desires.
You busted me.
See, Gil, I guess Gil is blocked by SNOT, but yes, Gil, SNOT is in the chat. There's a chat delay, Nagi. Come on live. Come on, kid. Understand live streams.
I'll start understanding live streams right after you start understanding anything about the stock market.
You know, somebody said he was going to become a staple of the finance sphere.
Well, he went on under it was either him or he's got really retarded fans. One of them said Scott's a lone wolf. And my only thoughts was you spelled Chihuahua wrong, but okay.
You don't understand the information you found. Scott, I found your address, and then I found your family relations who are listed right next to you. This is all easy to find, okay? And I'm not saying, like, go harass him because he's not worth harassing. He's a loser. But you could easily find where people live, okay? You live with your mom, dude. We know it. Okay? We know it. Admit it. I mean, I lived with my mom when I was like 14, you know? It's okay.
I actually don't care.
Meet Kevin channel dead by Scott. Yep. Scott took down Meet Kevin. Ari's channel dead by Scott. Yeah.
I remember that. Ari put up a video, if you guys want to go watch it, where she talks about how Scott Schaefer was the catalyst for her YouTube channel imploding. Sad. She's living in the car again. She's eating chunky peanut butter with peanuts in it.
Tom Nash's channel's dead.
I know he crushed him too. Tom Nash just vanished, man.
You're a mom. Did you ever think I pay for my disabled mom's rent more? My name is on the lease for her apartment. Scott, you live off of your mom's income. That's how you can sustain yourself. Whether your mom is disabled or not, you survive because you're splitting your income, your expenses with your mom. That's why you survive. If you were a real man, you'd be able to afford to pay her rent, get her own place, and afford your own place. But you're unemployed, Scott, okay? Don't play that sympathy car crap with me. I can see right through that. Jay Nagy hit a dildo and went, oh, God. Oh, God.
Right off the screen. I'm not being associated with that.
Okay. We'll leave Scott's mom alone. Scott Schaefer's anagram of recto shaft. You think I live off Social Security in California? You understand how... Okay, look, no, you don't live off of it, but you split the rent. It is part of your income because you can't afford your own freaking place, so you need somebody else's income to support you. It's Scott. I mean, he's admitting he lives with his mom, but it's all right, Scott. Real question. Do you think the market will recover when the war in Ukraine is done? I have no idea, ladies and gentlemen.
It's impossible to say, man. I mean, trying to predict what the market is going to do is like trying to predict what a population of people is going to do.
Oh, you know what I can predict, though? The Scott Schaefer intro I'm about to play. That was
I don't get it. Like I don't watch his live streams. Why is he here? I mean, besides sniffing Mike Stathis's panties, I don't get it.
Well, the Rice Marshal's not live right now, so he's not learning how to time every top and bottom perfectly, forever into the future. I'll pay for you to come see my apartment. You'll buy my plane ticket to California? Deal. Seriously. Buy me a ticket next weekend. I'm coming, baby.
You're a braver man than me. I don't even probably go in there, man, and never be seen again. End up dissolved in a 55-gallon drum somewhere.
What do you think he would do to me if he caught me alone?
I'll give you a hint. It's what the Ether Bunny does.
Oh, my God. Oh, Jay's killing me today. How does one become a professional dog walker?
Like, I don't get why he goes after people. I don't care. If Chris Sain comes after me for the phone call, I don't care. Like, I don't get why he's trying to shut down everybody that has something negative to say about him, but yet all he does is talk negatively about other people. It's like, you think you should just be the only person out there saying stuff? It's bizarre.
Oh, this video will be privacy claimed. Guaranteed. Mom is calling you for mango wafers and boiled hot dogs.
Oh, boiled hot dog water. Oh.
Man, this dog food tastes funny.
Oh,
I seem to be growing a lot of muscle after I ate this. I don't know.
He puts out his dog food and the dog gets mad and goes into the fridge and gets a tattooed chef bowl and microwaves it so it doesn't have to eat his dog food.
All right, man. I'm going to have to close the stream down.
Yeah, no worries, man.
So what outro do you want? Do you want the Scott? Do you want a Jeremy?
Do that one. Woo, woo, woo.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to Jay Nagy. Chris Saint's phone call is recorded on there. And you guys have a wonderful night. Cheers.
Oh, merry stock market. Oh, man.